Hey guys, we are deep into autumn here, and today I'm going to be sharing some cozy autumnal activities. I don't know if I really need more autumnal activity ideas. Like, this is my season. Pretty much everything I love to do is like a cozy autumnal activity, but if I've forgotten some off of this list, if you want to give some suggestions, leave them in the comments. We can make an even bigger list. Thanks to those who suggested this video in my community tab. I was having a severe case of decision fatigue, and so it was nice that you guys overwhelmingly decided that this is going to be the video for this week. So I have a list on my phone that has 18 cozy autumnal activities. It's not like a nice rounded number. Maybe I should have rounded it, but I feel like this is going to be a good list. So my first idea is to decorate, and this is something I historically have not done well. I'm not really good at decorating for the seasons except Christmas, but it's something I want to get better at. So I went and I bought, can you even see any? There's a little pumpkin there. It's a styrofoam pumpkin, and I always do like to have cozy lighting in here. And then on my kitchen table, I like to put out an autumnal table runner and a few items there. That's usually the extent of it, but in the years to come, I hope to get better at it. The only problem with the table runner is that every cat that we've ever had thinks that it's a bed for them, when it's really a table runner that my mother-in-law sewed, and it's not for the cats, contrary to what they believe. But I think once you decorate, everything just feels more autumnally reminded constantly that it is autumn. And then I couldn't make this list without having the whole idea of reading on here. I mean, reading is an every season activity for me, but for those people that it maybe isn't, autumn is one of the most perfect seasons. I still feel like it's all of them, but there's something so nice about curling up with a blanket on a rainy day and having some like mood lighting and just reading a cozy book, either cozy as in sweet or cozy as in kind of creepy or gothic. I actually just barely put out a list of gothic book recommendations, which are all like atmospheric. Not always a lot happens, but it has those like creepy vibes. So if you're looking for an atmospheric book to curl up with, check out that list. Next up, puzzles. I generally do puzzles from the start of October until the end of March, because that is kind of our cold season here, and my puzzles may not always look autumnal, but there is just something nice about having something physical to do with my hands that isn't going to take up a lot of space, like maybe a bit of space while I'm doing it, but when I'm done I can just clean it all up and shove it in a box, as opposed to a lot of hobbies that end up creating something and then you have to figure out what to do with this thing after you've created it. And last year, one of my booktube subscribers gifted our family with an escape puzzle. This was fun. So you like do the puzzle and then there's like clues throughout the puzzle to try to solve, kind of like an escape room kind of idea. And that took the whole puzzle element and took it up a notch. That was extra fun. Number 4, this one involves leaving your house if you're introverted. Sometimes that can be hard to do, but going to a corn maze or like a pumpkin patch. We just went to one last week. We did a fun corn maze, and they also had like a whole space with pumpkins, and that's always a lot of fun. Something we do every autumn. The one we go to also has a petting zoo, which is fun, and a whole like area for the kids to play. I feel like it's a great activity for like the family, or if you're single, to go with some friends. Like, it's just it's a fun outing, even for someone who just loves to stay at home. I really enjoy going to the corn maze. Plus, if you guys go to corn mazes, are you the kind of person, like our local corn maze has a map. It's usually like some kind of image. This year it was a lion and a child, and they give you the map if you want it. And I like to know where I am in the maze. Like, I like to follow along on the map and try to figure out, okay, like now we're in the lion's hair, or now we're going up this part of the child. Are you that kind of person, or do you just go willy-nilly? Do you like always turn a certain direction? I'd like to know how you do corn mazes, if you put any thought into it, or am I just weird that way? Okay. Another one that involves going out is doing an an autumnal hike. I have a favorite one locally that we go to pretty much every single year. It has just like the most beautiful scene of the river, and there's always a bunch of migrating birds and the autumnal colors. I love it. But you don't have to do a major hike or anything. You could just go for a walk. I really like back alley walks in the fall because all the leaves are falling off and it's just a different feel walking in the back alleys. Highly recommend a walk. Okay, this is a new one for me, and I know this is a social norm already, but it's new to me, and that is pumpkin spice all the things. I thought I didn't like pumpkin, and then I decided to do something different this year. Well, my friend has made scones before. She makes delicious pumpkin scones, and she just did a YouTube video on them, so I will leave that linked because you need to have some of those in your life, especially if you are. I want to try making them gluten-free and dairy-free, but I haven't yet. But if you can eat gluten and you can eat dairy, you need to try her recipe. So I've eaten those, but then this year I wanted to try some other things, so I started making pumpkin spice oatmeal cookies. I made a pumpkin spice baked oatmeal, and on my list is a pumpkin spice hot chocolate. I'm going to try that really soon. So this is new. I know it's not new to the world, but it's new to me. Pumpkin spice all the things. Number 7 is video games. Now, I do not play much for video games because generally I would rather read, but in the last couple of years I have really gotten into Stardew Valley. I like to play it with my family or with my daughter, so it's slightly more of a group activity, but it is such a cozy game. My son likes the fighting, just mash the button kind of games. That's not my speed here. I like cozy, just doing my thing. So Stardew Valley, and I know there are some other games like it. I would like to explore some of those because I could use more of those in my life. We've played Stardew Valley quite a bit, and there are times when that can get a little bit, I don't know, you can just kind of feel over the game. But if you play it on the computer, we download a bunch of mods. Lately, my daughter and I have been playing like a Ridgeside version where it's just got a whole new village kind of for us to explore. So that's been fun. A very autumnal thing I think is candles. I just spent the morning smelling a bunch and didn't find any good smelling ones, but I need to buy some more candles. I like anything apple or cinnamon or clove, that kind of smell, burning them. I'm not the best at burning candles also because I kind of forget about them sometimes. Generally I leave them on my oven in case I forget. But there's been a few mornings that I've woken up and it's like, oh, that candle was still burning. But I do like them, and I especially like taper candles. I put those on my autumnal tabletop for our dining table, and we often burn those when we're eating because it's getting darker and it's quite dark outside already when we're eating supper, so I think that's a fun way to kind of embrace the season. I am a thrift year-round kind of girl, but as soon as the weather gets cooler, or I'm hoping the weather gets cooler, I go sweater thrifting. Actually, I'm wearing a thrifted one right now. That wasn't even on purpose. I like to thrift sweaters every fall all the way till Christmas. Most of my sweaters are from thrift stores, and it's like a treasure hunt every single year, and I love it when I can hit the jackpot and kind of get the kind of sweater that I was going for. This year was amazing. Number 10, if you are the kind of person that forgets candles burning, not that I would know anyone like that, may I suggest a simmer pot. This is a method I usually go because it's a little bit, I don't know, I don't forget this like I forget candles. Partly because I only do it for a little while and then I turn it off. So my favorite is a pot with water and then apple. Sometimes I dry it, sometimes I will just use fresh apple cut up. Orange peel / slices. I will dry out orange peel every year during the Christmas season and save those for our simmer pot. Some clove and cinnamon, and then I simmer that on low and it makes the house smell amazing. That's what my house smells like from October through probably till March. Number 11 is to sit and watch the rain or go for a walk in it. And if you live in a more rainy climate, this might not be as thrilling for you, but we don't get a lot of rain where I live, and I just love it when we do have rainy days. I love just sitting there with a book, looking out the window, or going for a a walk in the rain, or even like the mist is just something that thrills me probably more than it should, but I love it. Number 12, you could replace this with your favorite autumnal movie, but I think it's mandatory to watch You've Got Mail every autumn season. I will usually watch it over our Canadian Thanksgiving. I didn't this year, so I still have that to do. I'm looking forward to it because it's just the perfect bridge, I think, between the summer and Christmas, because that movie just spans the perfect amount of time, and it's one of my most quoted movies. My family, especially my mom and my brother and I, always quoting it. 13 is to carve a pumpkin. I think it was last year I bought pumpkins too late, and I haven't bought any this year, so I'm hoping I'm not too late. But I feel like it's something you do as a child, and it's fun to carry over into adulthood as well. The feel of the pumpkin innards is both disgusting and relaxing at the same time. It's kind of like a stress ball, but a slimy one. That doesn't sound very good, but I enjoy it. Next up, my idea is to make soup and bread. I always make them as a combo because I find soup never fills me up for very long, but bread does. And this year, one of my goals is to try a couple different soup recipes. We have like our standard ones that we always do, but I want to expand because I'm really in the mood for soup this year. So if you guys have good soup recipes, let me know. Number 15 is to create a mood board. I just bought masking tape this morning to finish my mood board. I had started it a while ago. I moved my desk over onto that wall of my office, and then I ran out of tape. So now I finally have tape, and I'm going to finish making my autumnal mood board, so I'm looking forward to that. 16 is to change your bedding. So I was thinking like either autumnal colors or vibe, but maybe if you live somewhere cooler, you could do flannel bedding. We bought some flannel bedding for the first time this year, and it is not like very autumnal looking, but I'm excited to have that because I do not like climbing into a cold bed. If my feet are cold, I cannot sleep. So I'm looking forward to a nice, warm, cozy bed. 17 is to play a board game. Now, my family are pretty into board games, especially a few people in my family, so we have lots of options. My personal favorites are co-op games, but I do enjoy a good competitive game every now and then. For like a quick game, we'll often do like King Domino, but for a co-op like long game, Jared has, I think it's called Journeys in Middle Earth, this Lord of the Rings game that we have played over the years. It's been a while, we didn't play it much in the last year, but it's a really fun one. I like that it's co-op because we can work together, and I feel like you can talk more during a co-op game than you can with a competitive game when you're trying to keep everything to yourself. So I really like that. With the kids, we have done a lot of Castle Panic over the years, and then competitive with the kids, they really like Colt Express, so do I. That one is a lot of fun. You're bandits trying to steal treasure on a train and randomly punching people, or if there's no one there, you're just randomly punching the air. It's a lot of fun. And then my last one is to take pictures. So this could be like family pictures. My friend Holly just took pictures of us a couple of weeks ago that I'm excited about. A lot of them I can't share online because they have our foster kids in them. But I was also thinking like just pictures of the seasons changing. I have been doing a lot of video in the last couple of years because of YouTube. Instead of taking pictures, I'm taking video. Either one works, and I often combine this with my like autumnal walk. Jared knows that if he's going for a walk with me, we're going to stop multiple times and I'm going to take pictures and video, and there's a few breaks in between in our walk. And while you're taking a walk and taking pictures, that would also be a good time to pick up like some pine cones or different things that you could use to decorate. But if you're going to use some of that stuff, bake it in the oven first to kill any bugs. So those are my 18 cozy autumnal ideas. I would love to hear what you guys have for suggestions. Leave them in the comments, and thanks so much for being here.